Much as I worry for the future of Ishgard, the fate of our missing friends concerns me even more. Alphanon, Katana, I've been looking all over for you. We've received news regarding Philhamen, Hoary Boulder, and Coulternet. Really? Has something happened? No. It's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa Laminsa. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And you don't mind being spied on. Quite. But what wonderful news to think that our reunion is close at hand. A pleasure to see you too, Alphanon. Ah, Thancred and Kryl, what brings the two of you here? Kryl and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfilia. And we may have just found the answer. Katana, when you were fleeing Ulda with Minfilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it is not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide Minfilia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such an intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the aether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found, the battleground where Katana felled the Ultima weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. 'Twas there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield her from the magic I invoked. Kryl and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the aether there within. The two of you, alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I am confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryl while the patrols pass. Besides, if you and Katana come along, who will see Minfilian's grand homecoming? Halman's grand homecoming. When you put it like that, very well, I will trust in your plan. I not know whether the data will yield a means to find Minfilia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrades' return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at Lamens and Docks? Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travel. is that? By the gods, it is you. Well met, Katana, well met. If it isn't Katana Avonlea, really, you didn't have to come all this way just for us. Oh, Katana, how have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you all every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hanash vessel. It pained us not being there when you needed us most, but we made the most of it, didn't we? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. What do you mean she is missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me. I'm sure you are doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be, he watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return, and busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty, there is much more to be done. The braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit. To the Scions. A long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stone.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favoured me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louis Soir, every Scion's. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
Home at last. I must make my rounds and see who remain. Ah, it's great to be back in the toll, even if it smells like adventure. It feels good to be home again. To think that everyone is waiting for us just beyond those doors, friends and family with whom we've shared so much. God's help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Nothing like a homecoming to lift everyone's spirits. Thanks for bringing them back. And there they are at last. Thank the 12. When our comrades betrayed us, I feared all was lost. How wrong I was. We must tell the children at once. They've always been so fond of Hori. I worry that it's getting a bit carried away, but I suppose I can overlook it on this occasion. Aye, I heard it from Elian. So where is she? If I'm to greet the songstress of Ulda, I would do so on my feet. Huzzah! He has returned. Together my brother and I shall serve the Scions till the breaking of the 8th dawn. Oh my, decisions. First Ocher, now Hori. A passing fancy I could suffer, but this? She's hopeless, utterly hopeless. Is that Lady Philhamen I've heard so much about? Well, I shall have to introduce myself. Alian, Alphamy, it fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions brings a bloody tear to my eye. To secret oneself in a ship, a hold, a secure safe passage to a faraway land, this is a tale we know all too well. Then they are well rested. I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there is no need to be shy. Pray grant me a moment longer, at least, though I am happy to oblige you. My legs are rather less accommodating. Ochre, what in drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, brother, you and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, that I may grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Hanush, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of mine enemy. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we have settled in, I would join in the search. It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphinaud. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalymo, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. It'll all be like it was, just you wait and see. Mayhap it is best that I remain ignorant of the details, otherwise I might be tempted to do something rash. I will place my faith in you all, and the 12, to see her return to me. Now that Lady Philhamen and the others have returned, we can redouble our efforts to find Ida and Papalymo. If only we had some inkling of where they went when they left Pearl Lane. It's a shame that Higiri was not here to welcome Lady Philhamen home. Still, it shall be a pleasure to see the look on her face when she returns and learns of her homecoming. I know. I will look after him and see that he is fit for duty. About time everyone came back to the toll, though there's a few missing, like young Wilrid. Been too long since that boy and I had a drink. Lately, I've been practicing calisthenics every morning to stay loose and limber. In fact, I think I might be fit to venture out into the field once more. A warrior should not boast or brag of his accomplishments, so it was taught to me by my father, and by the father before him. Yet I must admit that I delight in hearing the young ones tell of their adventures, their eagerness and their boldness. It is comforting and inspirational both. When the time comes to reclaim what was lost, I know they will rise to the challenge. But I don't understand. I was the healer on those expeditions. How could she have... Oh, by gods, I was sleeping less than 10 palms away. I have no sister. Why not both? But enough about me, brother. What of your escapades? What of this fetching young lady with whom you seem so well acquainted? Perceptive as ever, brother. Honora and I have taken part in many missions together, and though adversary, have forged an unbreakable bond. Indeed, her skillful ministrations have provided much comfort. Looks like Hori is off to a smashing start. Mayhap I should leave them to it, and said about being sociable myself. Besides, I'd rather not be around when these two rising stones begin to clash. We'll keep things running smoothly while you're away, miss. You should devote all your attention to the search for the missing scion. Thancred and Kryle contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray to Kesher Meridian bore fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them and Yoshtola at Idleshire where they will share their finding. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she will forgive me if I return with her daughter. What are you still doing here? They're waiting for you in Idleshire. How's Fulhamen, by the way? Enchanting as ever, I trust. I shall have to pay my respects when time allows. 'Twas rather less than I had hoped, though mayhap I asked too much. My apologies. I see I am the last to arrive. What news do you have for her? Well, as we postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in Aether at the scene of Ultima's weapon's destruction, a ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believe Hadalin shielded me with the blessing of light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Silda Aqueduct. There we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect a more recent disturbance. Heidelin, there is no other explanation. But there is more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2, but 3 beings had been affected. Yet, unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in the sea of Aether. Though this is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that when communing with Heidelin, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Heidelin interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Heidelin may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Heidelin guided Menphilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her, body and soul, into the ethereal sea? In which case we must need continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Charlayan construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower? I had no idea. And then our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Although it pains me to admit, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask you grant us entry to the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the ethereal sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. If that is no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted the title upon me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed, save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going or not? We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. We'll see about that. Katana can go. Take the magicless rogue too if you like. He's of no use to me. The rest of you will stay and work, and I'll hear no argument. Those are my terms. Oh, and I should be delighted to accompany you. Lead the way, Katana. Thancred, no. Your etheric flow has been compromised. Do not deny it. To venture into an environment so thick with aether, so close to the ethereal sea, would be to risk further impairment, or worse. But Minfilia could be there, waiting for us. And you could die. And for what? If she is waiting beyond, Katana will find her. Trust in her. Have faith. Damn it all. Bring her back to us. The least she could do is at least let me go in Thancred's place. Long did I wonder, but waited beyond that door. Several times in my youth I even tried to open it, but the wards placed upon it were far beyond my skill to dispel. Be that as it may, I hardly think the work of 3 scions fair trade for its opening. Whatever it takes, do you hear me? Whatever it takes. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure that what you'll need to do once you reach the bottom. But you've always been so resourceful, so... step away a sec. We used to have somebody in our FC named Ugly Fish.
Hear, feel, think. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the Mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn, guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks
a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Thank the 12!
Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia?
The word of the mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together!
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No. No, this is all wrong.
"'Tis a blessed few who get to choose how and when and for what they die." Not that you need reminding, I suppose, but that boy. For all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there is a cosmic justice, a morality by which we are saved or condemned, and there isn't. She's not coming back, is she? I know that, I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling would there be than to stand against the dark as the defenders of light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. I must ask that you do not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Philhellin. I will brief Tataru on what we have learned, as well as Arianger. He may have insight as to what the word told us. As for you, Katana, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Anric while you were away. 'Twould seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire, but if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. "'Tis nothing, 'tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. It would not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all. Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
The Lord Commander said you would come. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding with space. Apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with the result. 'Twas not my war, but I made it mine, and and I see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I'm rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend the ceremony, you may meet Lords Arturial and Amalian, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you would excuse me, I need to return to my duties. I am glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Mistress Avonlea. And fear not, I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofner may pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need in this glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference. Ah, still here, old girl. This, really isn't the time. I will do my utmost to keep him out of trouble, but I may require your assistance later. Taking a stroll around the hamlet. Very good, very good. We shall speak anon. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker. He is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just a peace with dragons, but with all them heretics beside. Don't misunderstand, we've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragonfire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to reconciliation comes at a great relief. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault. If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a knave fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make the fantasy reality. Ha, and here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artiel, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority are willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury take me! They would defy Sir Emmeric's commands if they dare attack V. It will not come to that, but to see that it does not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to impose us were a lord of the house four times present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Amalian while I am away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Was that Lord Artiel leaving with the first commander just now? I am rather busy at the moment, O girl, guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Artiel thought I might be in derelict of my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no, yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming pack. Your map, if I may, right here, right there. Those are the points of our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old girl. Come, Honorald. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear. Do be careful, my lady. terrible imposition though it was, I'm relieved that my lord did not think to tend to the wolves by himself. Wolfsbane, it pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds, and that is all well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you, you know, the one who made the arsonist confess. Clever that. Thancred was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he may still be there. Stay your weapons, we come in peace. Lady Iceheart told us tales of thee. If she would trust in Sir Emmerich, then we would too hear what he has to say. But the wolves caught us unawares, and were it not for this man, we would have surely died. 'Fancy meeting you here. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest, then, and see what other thrilling task he may have for us. It's always the younger one, every time, without fail. How wonderful! You found Master Thancred, as ever. I could not help but fear the worst. And there they are, the pair of gallant heroes, if I ever saw them, comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is not left to do but enjoy your well-earned respite. I'm sorry already, truly, I am. Selfless sacrifice indeed. Oh, and this, of course, should go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Artiel wouldn't understand. Right then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once a suggestion with which I agree. Go on ahead, Katana. I will join you anon.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
You all right, my friend? You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Halone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Travarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters! Remember it! And strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done?
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the First Commander and Lord Artiel are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with the messenger, who said that they would be returning shortly, But until they do, naught will be done. Lord Emelian has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure the order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Turrigans tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what? They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough, that their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be an end to it, or will there be others like them, and the true brother? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can. I heard the rumors. What the young lord was a drunken fool, what imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have a run of Falcon's Nest. Well, I say him and Sir Emmerich take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. Well, what say you? So the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all the casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Lord Artrill and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Emelian, and I somehow doubt he has moved an ilm since we last saw him. Fury take me, what a disaster. I should never have left. My apologies. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know? A According to the initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Amalian ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still, more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being. At least the Cherugans are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much time and effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did in its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, they have been more fruitful in their labors. In the wake of the protests, the people seemed disillusioned. You spoke with them. Then? I see. Sir Emmerich placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and will do so again. If we could find but means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference pending Sir Emmeric's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Katana, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Amalian. You're going with her. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Honorald. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Honorald? Honorald? I could have sworn he was. I too had best remain here for a time. I should hope that the worst has passed, but it is too early to say for certain. Once I have determined that my presence is no longer required, I will return to the capital as well. Pray give my regards to the Lord Commander. are you? Odd. The boy struck me as rather devoted type. What reason would he have to leave his master unattended for so long?
Onawa! No, no! What have they done to you? Onawa! Onawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onawa?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Chirurgeon without delay.
Chirurgeon, okay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
I will take him to the Kairugans. It is the least I can do. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is not to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. I know this. But he... I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend in Ishgard. You are expected, miss. Pray proceed. We received troubling reports from Falcon's Nest. What befell you there? Word of a demonstration, and its resolution outstripped you, Katana. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply in the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away, is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmond, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it, aye, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorifying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur another disillusioned souls to retrace them. But, as you say, we dare not revel in the past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, ambiguous enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause, 'tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve us well, I fear, yet we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Orzaean Alliance for a joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises till after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our belingering spirit. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies, a unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand together as a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Posted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under which circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all the sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism. It is true, but should we be defeated, though even to hold our own against the cream of these three nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well, you may count on my support for what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son Anami take part in the grand melee. By his deeds, he has brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds, I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose. Katana, will you be so kind to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. So that is their solution, a grand melee to unite the people. And what part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? You, whom they have already taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely. And will you oblige them? When the proposition is made, will you stand for Ishgard once more? I will stand for my friends and comrades, not a nation. A poor choice of words for friends tried and true, then living and the lost. So for this grand melee of his, Sir Emmerich wishes to field a force compromising both his temple knights and Hilda's watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go see for myself. Well met. Have you spoken with Sir Emmerich? I was aware of the Alliance request, so Sir Emmerich would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses? It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch, Did he now? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander on his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Bloody fool doesn't realize he'll have to sit this one out. If all the watch ran off with Sir Emmerich to play soldier, who'd be left to keep an eye on things here? Huzzah, we've been spoiling for a fight. We won't let Sir Emmerich down. You'll see. I thought you had something to discuss with the First Commander. Thancred's been telling me about Sir Emmerich's grand soiree. Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows that he's doing, 'cause we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. Well, seems the First Commander's gone and handpicked her guest. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it'll inspire the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hides tanned, after all. Think about it, eh? I hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search the foundation, and you the pillar. carried on a rope to the manor. Our best Kairugans are attending to him as we speak. He has yet to wake, but surely he will. So Father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making decisions for me. No, it's not like that. It's just, oh, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You're free to be the woman you want to be, whereas I am the son of House Fortens, don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it, until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their causes, but not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I'd convinced myself that I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honorant, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame, but in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Emmerich, and I will make my own decision. The Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what matters demand his personal attention? I see. Very well. You may enter.
Lord Commander, if I may? I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do.
Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Emanolaine de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You'll take charge of the Ishgardian forces?
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more. An adventurer beholden to none who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend? One more time. Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
We would not have come to this far if it were not for you. It has been an honor and a privilege. God's help me. I think it might be love. I dare say it might be cheating too. Your mere presence is enough to turn the tide of most battle. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? 'Twas a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician more practiced at concealing his emotion. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause. But that would be improper. This is their fight, and yours, not mine. Mayhap I ought to fight for the other side, you know, even the yacht. Sir Emeric informs me that the Alliance leaders have agreed to his proposal. The Grand Melee will be held here, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, and in sight of the capital. An announcement has been made, and Allied forces are currently en route. The eyes of Ishgard are upon us. We must not fail. A rare opportunity to see your pit yourself against Allied forces. Outside of Cartano, perhaps, I would not miss this for the world. 'T ain't often that high-born dandies deign to fight alongside us, hoi polloi. Like all our name days rolled into one, it is. Then again, it's our national pride that's at stake, national and personal. I ain't about to let a snotty-nosed lordling show me up. The second commander and Hilda's lieutenant shall see to the security of the city in my absence. The melee demands my undivided attention. 'Tis a matter of pride for the Alliance as well. They will not scruple to send their best against us. We must trust. We must not be cowed. Too much rests on our success. It looks to be a ventable who's who in the Orzaean Alliance. The only question is, who came to watch and who came to fight? Nanimo, definitely. Nanimo. There she is. I say, when you didn't appear, I began to question. Nothing. Never mind. Ahem, to think that we are mere moments away from facing the cream of Orzaea's soldiery in battle. That I am mere, But what if... Oh, what am I saying? I have to stop imagining the worst. I must think of the victory, of the glory, of the stories I will tell Honorald when he awakes. By the Fury, how could I forget? Father bid me present this to you. I know it is sudden, but we believe the men would find it inspiring if you bore the colors of House Vortemps into battle. Pray do us this honor.
Let all here present heed well the rules of engagement. For the honor and the glory of Ishgard!
All is ready then. Very well. Brave men and women of the Eorzean Alliance, let the grand melee begin!
Ishgard!
Is that all you've got?
It ends here!
Right there!
continue the melee, I will deal with him. Daft sod. You heard the man. Back to... All forces form a line on Katana now. Well met. I will not lie, I was hoping it would come to this. So then, shall be damned.
Did she win? Then we...
Victory is ours! Ishgard! Ishgard! Well fought! Well fought, my friend! You truly are the warrior of warriors.
Thank the Fury you were on our side.
Oh, my lungs are burning, and I can barely stand. I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. We did. We faced the Alliance's best, and together, with one heart, with one purpose, we prevailed. After 1,000 years of hardship, of strife and bloodshed, we are strong enough to rise to any challenge, be it on the battlefield or beyond. The future holds so much promise, so much joy. We need only show them the way.
A truly magnificent display, Sir Knight. While doubtless less than pleased, I am quite sure the Grand Companies are honored to have been bested by such valiant warriors.
The honor was ours, Your Grace.
I am pleased to see that Ishgard's proud martial tradition is being upheld. When the time comes, I trust you will fight alongside your brothers and sisters in the Eorzean Alliance with the same fervor you displayed in opposing them. I note that our friend elected to take the field in Ishgardian colors.
At my behest, Your Grace. If we have given offense, the blame lies with me.
Fear not, Sir Knight. It was a surprise, nothing more. And any hint of ill feeling was thoroughly dispelled by the spectacle of our mutual friend's duel with General Raubarn. On the subject of surprises, I could not help but marvel at the passion and unity of purpose displayed by your countrymen, given the troubling reports we have received of late.
I shall take that as a compliment, Your Grace. The events to which you allude are the price of change. The end of the Dragonsong War marks the beginning of a new era for our nation, and for the people, high and lowborn alike, who will lead her into the future.
Ah, yes. The people. Change is indeed a perilous thing, for we who seek it, and they who fear it. I shall pray for Ishgard, and for you.
Well, that made for a refreshing change. Congratulations on your victory, by the way. Ishgardians certainly seem happy with themselves. I, for my part, am merely glad you did not strain anything in the process of single-handedly winning the battle for them. 'Tis but a scratch, I assure you, and I will not suffer you to worry over me. Not when we have a dozen far more important concerns. Make that 2 dozen. Still, as Y'shtola never tires of telling me, we can but face them head-on one at a time. One day at a time. As Minfilia would have done.
As long as I live, I shall never forget that duel. It was inspiring and humbling in equal measure. I feel honor-bound to point out, however, that my father was fighting one-handed. I had forgotten what it was like to feel so alive. Not since leaving the Blood Sands have I had the privilege, not since the Bull of Alamigo hung up his sword. Back then, the outcome might have been different, but I do not begrudge you your victory. I know how far you have come, how much you have endured. Our fight only confirmed it. We shall have to do this again one day, when time allows. I shall look forward to it. Now go to the Ishgardians and celebrate your victory. You have earned it. Come, Pippin. Her Grace is expecting us. Lead on, Father. What are we waiting for? We must return to the capital at once and tell them about our victory. The messengers have already been dispatched. Let us pray that this victory has the desired effect. That was just another battle for you, I bet. But for my lot, it wasn't so much the fighting as the not tripping over each other's feet. His lordship might think about laying on some actual training for us next time. I confess, it stung my pride to be brushed aside so easily. But when the flames subsided, and I saw you standing there triumphant, there was only gladness in my heart. Said your goodbyes. In all the years I have known Roban, I cannot recall ever seeing him look so happy in defeat. Well, everything seems to be falling into place, does it not? The Ishgardians have claimed their symbolic victory, and the Orzaean alliance has been strengthened in the process. Be proud, you made this happen. When you are ready to return, pray inform the Lord Commander. I never imagined our humble gathering of like-minded souls would grow into something proper, let alone a force fit to trade blows with the Alliance finest. Can't say I didn't enjoy it neither. Funny how things turn out, eh? cannot help but wonder what would have happened had you lost. Fantastical though such a state of affairs unquestionably is, I dare say the world would simply have ended. We have done it. Nay, you have done it. You have brought us the victory we so desperately needed. There is naught left but to return to the capital. Come, let us see what reception awaits us.
My lord!
Honorwa, my boy. Shouldn't you be in bed?
Thank you for your concern, my lord. But I have largely recovered from my ordeal, and I have naught but several scars to show for it, which I have been told some women may find appealing.
I see. And to think I was worried sick over you.
I'm not sure I understand, my lord.
Well, let's put that theory to the proof, shall we?
My lord?
'Twould seem that a great many things have occurred in my absence. I thought I might begin to make amends by welcoming you in person.
The messengers spared not their chocobos to bring us word of your victory in the grand melee. I cannot well describe our elation when we heard the news. It called to mind the day we rejoined the Eorzean alliance, when I glimpsed hope rekindled in the eyes of the people.
The Fury herself ushers us into a new era. Sir Emmerich, the time is now.
Aye, that it is. Reconvene the conference and summon Vidofnir to Falcon's Nest. We will make peace with Hraesvelga's brood and hasten this bloody war to its end.
Yes, Lord Commander.
I will send word to Artoirel and bid him resume preparations. Emmanuelaine, you will place yourself at your brother's disposal. He will be glad of your assistance.
No stopping it now, is there? We should inform Y'shtola and the others.
My dear friend, I doubt I will ever be able to thank you enough. But when the conference is successfully concluded, I damn well mean to try.
They say you dueled General Rawan with in a ring of flames. I did not think the man so austinous. Would that I could have seen it. After we parted ways at Matoya's cave, I returned here to speak with Tataru. We agreed to tell the others only that our search for Menphilia had reached an impasse. I subsequently learned that you had left for Falcon's Nest, but I thought it best to keep to myself for a time. I want to rely on you overmuch when we are together, and I needed to rethink, to reflect. I still do, I suspect, but matters here seem to be coming to an head. In short, There are some things I feel I must say, though nothing so urgent that it cannot wait until after the conference. So let us make for Falcon's Nest, and see if Lord Artorial has need of our assistance. I held on to the anger for so long, but it was the only way I could cope with my husband's passing. But my daughter, stubborn as she is, insisted that we attend. I never thought this day would come, never wanted it, never needed it. But when I saw all these young ones, for their sake, then perhaps for his memory too. Did you hear how Ishgard trounced the Alliance forces in the Grand Melee? Ha, I knew they would be no match for us. All credit to the Lord Commander, I say. I know some still had their doubts about his watch initiative, but who can argue with the results like that? As Sir Emmerich hoped, Ishgard's success at the Grand Melee has done much to restore the people's faith in this endeavor. Look on their faces, nervous yet hopeful, expectant in a word. Well met, and thank you for looking after my brother. They say he fought bravely, that he did not dishonor his house, but you, my lady, you we owe everything. As you can see, we have made every effort to strike while the iron is hot. We made our intentions known, and that all would be welcome to attend, and so they came. By the grace of the Fury, they came. The ceremony will not be a lengthy affair, but there is still much to be done. I would speak with you more, but I must see to my duties. As for you and Master Alphalon, you will do naught but enjoy yourselves, is that clear? If any dare beg your assistance again, I will have word. Well, there you have it. We have been forbidden from meddling. Shall we wait, or have you other matters to attend to before the ceremony begins? Excellent. I only hope that Thancred and the others will not be late. Epochial events do not come around very often.
The appointed hour approaches.
Aye.
She begged leave to watch the proceedings. I saw no reason not to grant it.
Should I choose to deviate from my prepared remarks, I ask that you trust in my judgment.
Have I ever done otherwise?
Look!
The White Dragon!
Ah, how long it hath been since our peoples met thus, children of Thordan, even by our reckoning.
Vidofnir, daughter of Hraesvelga, we give thanks for your visit, and bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest.
Our sire bade us hearken unto the whispers of our hearts. They spoke to us of a paradise lost, of bonds of brotherhood which they yearn to see restored.
Ours too yearn for such a restoration, and they have guided us here this day, that they might yearn no longer.
Brothers and sisters, ye who stand as witness, hearken to me!
Since the days of Eld, when the bonds betwixt man and dragon were sundered by our hand, our peoples have known only war. Bloodshed without end, losses beyond counting, and still we fought. And still we fought. Some wounds do not heal. The dead cannot be returned to us. But we, the living, can yet choose another course. Here and now, we can lay down this burden, this hatred, this vengeance. Our forebears fought not so that we could die, but that we might live. So let us honor their sacrifice and spare our children this death sentence. Let us gift them a new legacy. Life.
Betwixt our peoples yawneth a divide deeper than the deepest abyss, wider than the widest sea. Generations will live and die ere this divide is bridged. Knowing this, doth thy heart yet yearn for peace, son of Thordan?
Look now on the legacy we would leave to our children. A dream of peace, inscribed in stone for generations to come.
Father and his beloved, as they were so long ago, happy and at peace. The dream they shared shall be ours once more.
Never!
bow!
Child of Dravania, art thou grown so forgetful that thou wouldst forsake kith and kin and consort with the spawn of Thornton? That thou wouldst dare contemplate peace? Hearken unto me, all of you! The final chorus is nigh, and all will be held to account. All will bathe in the flames of retribution. Till the coming of that day, look you on your sins and despair, for none shall scape my wrath. None shall scape my revenge!
7 hells. Damn you, Nidhogg.
Hells, take that worm! While he lives, we'll never know peace.
Aye! There'll be no end to this war till Nidhogg is dead and gone!
So let's kill the bastard and be done with it! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
There they go, the last of the guests. Having come hither with hope in their hearts, they depart with hatred and bloodlust. Until the moment I saw him strike, I still had some small hope that what you had seen in Azazla was an illusion. Perhaps, but he acted without hesitation, as did Sir Emmerich. For a mercy, Vidofnir's wound was not mortal, or so Lucia tells me. The dragon was spirited away to Annex Shrine to receive care from her brethren. We can but hope her recovery is swift. But such was surely Nidhogg's intent, to deliver a proclamation not only to the children of Thornton, but to his kindred. War is coming, and ye who do not stand with us stand apart. She was an example, a message to her brood, another instrument of his vengeance, like Estinian. When I said I wished to speak with you after the conference, I confess I envisioned rather happier circumstance. If anything, however, this latest tragedy makes the need more pressing. There are things I must say. Not to the Warrior of Light, or even my fellow Scion, but to you, my friend. But not here, no. Ah, but of course. The intercessory in Camp Dragonhead is still open to us. Let us go there. Greetings, madam. Shall I show you inside?
Forgive me. That took longer than expected. You seem puzzled. Oh, these. I thought something warming might not go amiss. It was not all that long ago that we sat here, you and I. In our very own falling snows, as Lord Horshvon called it. I still struggle to believe he is gone. And Azelle too. I had such hopes for her. Master Matoya asked me what it was all for. Why we fight. And why we die. Were I still commander of the Braves, I would doubtless have replied, for the future of Eorzea. But I'm not that man. Not anymore. I needed a new answer. One that I could live with. And when I saw Estinian at the ceremony, I knew at last what it was. I do not want to be a man who sacrifices his friends and family for a cause. I want to fight for Estinian, and I want to save him. When Nidhogg leads the Horde into battle, Ser Emeric and his forces will do what they believe must be done. That is their choice to make. Yet even if Ser Emeric is willing to forsake Estinian, I am not. We must fight for him, for he is our friend and ally. We may struggle, we may fail, but we must try. We will. I know we will.
Thank you. It is unfair for me to burden myself in this manner. Time after time, but I am glad that you permit me nonetheless. You are my true friend and ally. Though not all of our fellow Scions will support our stance on Estinian, I have faith that we will win them over in due course. Such is the infectious power of hope. Right, that is quite enough solemn introspection for one night. I think we should both benefit from some time in the company of Tataru. She stays for us at Fortin's Manor. Let us not keep her waiting any longer. Well, Alphonse certainly seems to be in better spirits. Do we have you to thank for this? Yet again, we walk an all too familiar path. I am reminded of when we first came to this manor. Lost and uncertain, we were granted succor in our hour of need. We were saved, and now it is our turn to return. It is our turn to return the favor. Hear, hear. Let no one say that the Scions do not repay their debts. After all, what kind of people would we be if we forsook our friends, if we stopped looking for Ida and Papalymo, or if we gave up hope of bringing Nymphilia back? Though she knew it would cost her dearly, Nymphilia reached out to us to deliver a message. She believed it was imperative that we understood the true nature of this star, a rift between Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and of the Ascians' aspirations. But, for all that has been revealed, I cannot shake the suspicion that there is much we have yet to learn. In any event, I think it's time that we step back from the fray and carefully consider our next course of action. It will not be easy to turn this tragedy into triumph, but we will find a way. We will. We will.
Of all the ways for it to end. Even before his transformation, I could feel the worm's hatred swirling about Estinian. The terrible, all-consuming rage. Enough to fuel a 1,000-year quest for vengeance. It was all I could do not to run away screaming. But Ishgardians, nay, all Eorzeans, are made of sterner stuff. They face danger and death on a daily basis and understand what it takes to win a war.
Think not too deeply on Master Matoya's words. Her intent was but to steal our resolve. That, and to remind us to look beyond these passing conflicts to trials greater still, to the truth which hides at the heart of this world.
So that's your aim, is it?
You disapprove?
Not at all. I believe it's traditional for the student to follow in the footsteps of the master. And you are so very alike.
Change. That great inexorable wave was upon us, and soon all of Ishgard would bend to its will. For all our sins, for all our scars, the future for which we had long yearned was at last within our grasp. But it would be bought at a heavy price. For in those twilight hours did Nidhogg cry out for vengeance, and his brethren raise their voices for the final chorus of the Dragon Song War.
Caution, Yda. That is all I ask. Do not be so eager to place your faith in them. Not until we know more.